Over the last 4 years, Americans have lost 3 years of life expectancy, while more than 50% of our population deaths are attributed to inflammation. And 61% of Americans have chronic inflammation. Hi, I'm Jackie Iversen. I am the co-founder of Sen-Jam Pharmaceutical. I'm a hospital pharmacist and have done research and clinical care for over 30 years. And I saw that there was a need in the market for anti-inflammatories. And specifically, we are passionate about immunomodulating the immune system in order to move your immune system away from inflammation and over to healthy aging. And we can do this safely and effectively without causing immunosuppression. And that's a very important key factor to our entire platform. We are currently have 3 lead agents that are in phase 2 clinical trials, or at or near phase 2 clinical trials. And the reason why I'm passionate about this, and we have made a whole platform of agents, is because inflammation is killing us. Over the last 4 years, Americans have lost 3 years of life expectancy, while more than 50% of our population deaths are attributed to inflammation. And 61% of Americans have chronic inflammation. And here's why. Acute inflammation, which has multiple reasons why we get acute inflammation due to toxins in our environment or things that we put into our body. And that leads to chronic inflammation. And both of those inflammatory events can cause irreversible tissue damage. And this irreversible tissue damage accelerates aging. And we are trying to stop that entire process by, again, modulating the immune system. And for our products are available in over-the-counter and prescription, and our over-the-counter offering would be the biggest advance in the over-the-counter shelf in 125 years since aspirin made it to your shelves. Allowing the consumer to maybe avoid supplements that could be dangerous and taking FDA products that are approved for efficacy and safety that can modulate your immune system away from inflammation and towards healthy aging, I believe will garner an entire new category or aisle in your pharmacy department, in your pharmacy. And the way we do this is that our agents are immunomodulators because they modulate the mast cell, which is the very beginning of your immune system's inflammatory cascade or communication throughout your body. And by modulating the mast cell gently and safely, we can decrease all of the proteins that are released from the mast cell, and they are the ones that communicate inflammation to the rest of your body. So instead of our competitors, which decrease a specific cytokine at a time, for example, like tumor necrosis factor, if you're going to decrease one cytokine by itself, you will end up with a dysregulated immune system and immunosuppression, which could be life-threatening. We have 9 papers published, 4 university collaborations, 12 therapeutic assets, and over 45 patents and patents pending. We can bring these products to the market quickly because we use the 505(b)(2) pathway. And we have a corporate partnership with KVK Tech, who manufactures, has been manufacturing 2 of our products to date. The market's huge because if we're going to decrease inflammation, you can provide this with a whole bunch of different indications, perhaps that you've never thought of or have always been looking for a solution for. This is our 3 lead assets for our COVID-19 product. It's really, we've redirected it as an upper respiratory infection to decrease inflammation. We are in collaboration with Duke University, and we have a licensing term sheet that we're negotiating with a publicly traded company in China. For our alcohol hangover product, this is a product that you take 1 dose prior to drinking alcohol, and not only will it decrease your hangover the next day, but we believe it will protect your liver. This is an over-the-counter product, and we are also negotiating a licensing deal in Japan. We have our opioid use disorder product. This is a prescription product, and we have a partnership with People Science, which has an application for us to be able to monitor therapy virtually. The big news with this product is that the National Institute of Drug Abuse has partnered with us in order to examine our compounds as they feel that they will reduce the reward circuitry for polysubstance abuse. Our business model is to sell or license our assets. However, this is a picture of how much revenue we anticipate we will get if we brought each of these products to market ourselves. However, the revenue can also be gained by a number of our licensing deals that we plan to execute and continue. Our competitive differential is expansive. We're in definitely several different areas of indications. However, our biggest difference is that we prevent full systemic inflammation of not just one pro-inflammatory cytokine, but across the board for reducing all of the pro-inflammatory cytokines. And we can do this gently, and so therefore we do not cause immunosuppression. We have a great team behind us. I couldn't do this without my team. And we're a virtual company, but we have this great team who's already experienced greater than $700 million in exits. A lot of entrepreneurs and business owners on the team. In the past, we've raised $7.5 million, and we are currently looking for a raise of $10 million in order to move 3 of these products through the end of phase 2 and on to making an injectable and a PO product for acute inflammation, particularly in the hospital. Thank you.
Really groundbreaking work. One of the things you had mentioned in one of the slides you showed was centered around the market size, or what it would be if you took these drugs to market yourself. Yeah. What is the difference economically to the company of either doing that versus these licensing deals you had mentioned before? How are those licensing deals structured?
Yeah, so licensing deals are structured where based on the revenue that's anticipated with each of these products, that would get put into a deal where you get lots of milestone payments based on either upfront and royalties based on your revenue that you achieve. If these licensing deals are based on how much you're putting in, how much sweat equity you put in versus the person who's licensing the product. So these licensing deals could be extremely beneficial to the company, and could actually, if you license out everything, you'd probably get more money than what I'm showing as my total revenue if we brought each of these products to market ourselves.
Got it. And then because you're leveraging other people's networks, right, to get the solutions out into market. So one final question for you. You're looking at COVID, alcohol, opioid, obviously very attractive markets. How has the market embraced these types of solutions and the work that you're specifically doing at SenJam?
Yeah, well, first, I'd like to start off with saying that we just started looking for licensing deals in China and Japan for those respective products, the upper respiratory for China and the alcohol hangover product for Japan. And within 3 months, we already have 2 term sheets on the table for licensing deals. So, and these are big companies in those countries. So, our biggest bet was that we wanted to solve unmet needs where there was no such product within that space. And because these are unmet needs that the majority of people deal with, whether they're upper respiratory infections or the occasional alcohol hangover, there is definitely a need, and nobody has exactly, what we are offering. So that's has proven itself with those abilities to snag some licensing deals up early. But I think our biggest thing was that NIDA contacted us, the National Institute of Drug Abuse contacted us when they read our research papers and saw that we had a path, a scientific path to decreasing reward circuitry for polysubstance, not just opioids. And so they are diligently working with us to do animal studies for us for free. So having the government invest in you, I think is a good show.